Hey guys, so welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first live recording, not live recording, yes I'm recording. It's my first YouTube recording as opposed to me just, let's just skip the small talk, shall we? So, my name is Mandy, also known as Mandy Classic Keto. And if you're here on my channel, that's because you're probably interested in some low carb keto recipes or just recipes that are good and healthy for your family. A little bit about us is we have 5 kids. And no, I don't make separate meals. If you do, more power to you. This girl ain't no short order cook. Now occasionally, if we're having like a meat and a veg, I may throw out a rice. For those who aren't keto, I may throw out a potato. I just don't partake, okay? So, there you go. My kids eat the things I fix. They love the Brussels sprouts. They do the broccoli. They do all that, but that's because that's just what we've instilled here. So, maybe it's not too late for you. If you have a kid or maybe you have an adult that just won't eat green food. I love it. I love all vegetables. I can't think of any vegetable that I wouldn't eat. I love them. I try to cook them in different ways and share that with you. So today we are going to oven bake. Alexa, turn down a little bit. I also have an obsession with Dolly Parton and she's usually always here in the kitchen with me. So today we are going to slow oven bake a pork butt. What's for dinner? Butt. It's actually for tomorrow. Why they call them a butt, I don't know, because it's really the shoulder. But they call it a shoulder butt. Pork steak ready shoulder butt. I'm reading the label. Okay, so let me show you. It's okay. So typically, where do I buy my meats? I get that question a lot. I buy a lot of meat at Sam's. I buy a lot of meat at Kroger. And there is also a local small business butcher here. But let me show you the price on this. I know it's probably backwards, and I'm sorry, but I'll read it to you. This is an 8.04 pound butt, shoulder. And it was $7.96. That's less than $1 a pound. Am I right? That's like 99 cents a pound, so you can't pass that up. So let me tell you, we typically smoke a lot of meats. We have a Rectech smoker. If you're looking for a smoker, you've never used a smoker, Rectech is a great brand. They're a little pricey, but they're great. You use the pellets and you can decide which kind of pellets you want to use, hickory, pecan, whatever. And things come out great. But because we're doing some revamping around here, new deck, new siding, the smoker is in the garage until we're all done with that. So we're going to cook this in the oven and it's going to be delicious, I promise you. So let me show you what I do to get it ready. First of all, when I brought this home, I stuck it straight into the freezer because it wasn't something that was on my grocery list. It wasn't a meal that I plan. I plan the whole week of meals and grocery shop one time for them. And occasionally if I've come across a really great deal, I'll grab it. And so since this wasn't on that week's plan, it went into the freezer and now I thawed it. Now, you know when you freeze meat, also, side note, I used to love the Peace Teas, and I think they're made by Arizona. Are they right? I don't know. Maybe Peace Tea is just Peace Tea. I think they're actually made by Coca-Cola Company, but anywho, I used to love them. They came in the bigger cans like the Arizona. I stumbled across this at a BOGO at Publix. This is the Peace Tea Razzleberry, 0 sugar. I can't even tell a difference. The cans are smaller. It still tastes good. I only do maybe one a week. I did buy 2 4-packs. And I do maybe 1, 2 a week because it does have sucralose in it. So I have that sparingly. Okay, so when you freeze meat and then you thaw meat, you kind of get this juicy, right? Yum. Okay, so I just stand it up, squeeze it all down, and I'm going to use a knife to cut open that plastic. And I am going to drain all that butt juice. Did you like that? Shoulder butt pork juice out. I'm also going to give it a rinse. A lot of people say don't do that, but listen, I'm in the sink, so I might as well. Let me move my bacon pan. My bacon baking pan. I'm actually going to put on some gloves. I'm not going to put them on until I'm ready to get it rubbed up so that I don't contaminate those. I'll just rinse and then wash my hands. So, going over here. Can you see me? All right. So I'm just pouring it out. And I always rinse that bag it came in out before I throw it away, in case it's a minute before we take the trash out. Nobody wants the funk building up, right? Okay, and so I'm just going to rinse it. And y'all may think I'm funny, but I'm going to smell it. That's because I want to make sure there ain't nothing wrong with it. And it doesn't have any smell, as it should not. I'm going to pat it dry with some paper towels, because if it's wet, then nothing's going to stick to it. So I'm going to put it down in my pan. And I'm going to shift you where you can see what I'm doing. Just give me a second. All right. Got it pretty dry. Also, my oven is preheating. I'm a firm believer of low and slow. Let me wash my hands. Low and slow. Most things, low and slow. Especially meat, especially pork. When I do ribs, I cook them in the oven if we aren't smoking them. I've kind of developed the taste for baked meats over smoked meats, but I do love my chicken wings in the smoker. Okay. Our hands are completely clean. No funk going on here. Let me dry them off. All right. So, because we pat our pork dry, we have to put something back on as a binder, right? So, there is a guy I follow on TikTok, and his name is Bama Grill Master. Check him out. Tell him Mandy Classy Keto sent you over, and tell him she said Roll Tide. If that offends you, I'm sorry. Unsubscribe. No, I'm just kidding. It's also hard to get gloves on your hands when they're just slightly damp. Okay. Because I'm cooking for myself, this is not a pandemic thing. It's just I don't want to slop raw pork all over the kitchen and all over my hands. Okay, so we're going to be using, hi buddy, I'm recording. It's rolling right now and you don't have pants on. Okay, so we're going to use a binder. And like I said, this idea that I'm using for my binder came from the Bama Grill Master. Babe, you can't watch that in here, but you can go right out there. Remember those 5 kids? That's number 5. Can you turn your tablet down or get headphones? Okay. I mean, that's life. This is just how we roll. We don't have pants on. We have noise going on. When you're number 5, we're tired. All right. Let me get my binder out of the fridge. Ready for it? Some of you may be like, right on. Some of you may be like, ugh. Okay. This is my binder. Mayonnaise. And my favorite mayonnaise is Duke's. I don't use anything but Duke's. If you come to my house and find some Blue Plate, some Hellmann's, some I don't know who, check on me. chuckle me, y'all, because that means something's not right. Okay, so we're gonna use mayonnaise as our binder on our pork. This not only gives your spices a place to stick, but it also gives a layer of fat to encompass your meat. So let me grab my spices before I get my hands all gooey. All right, 1, 2, and I don't do anything crazy. Nothing crazy's going on here. All right, got them, 4 things. All right, so I'm just going to take, let me get this hair back here out of the way. I know, y'all. Okay, sorry. Here come the hate comments. Oh my God. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of mayonnaise on. All right, let me try so we can show you. Ignore the naked shot. Let me just bring you down a little bit. All right, so smearing it, keeping this hand out because I need to open my spices. Okay, on all 4 sides, there is a bone in there. Oven, I think I mentioned it, oven is heating up, 250. 250 gas oven. I don't believe in electric ovens. If that's what you have, more power to you. I am just, y'all, I was just raised in the South. My mama had gas, my grandma had gas. Not literally. And so I prefer gas. I think it cooks evenly. Okay, just so you know, I'm basting fat side down because I'm gonna flip and cook fat side up so the fat runs down in. So I have mayo, thin layer. It's gonna cook right away. I am using, this is McCormick's Grill Mates. This is a brown sugar bourbon. So about this is there are no carbs, but there is a little brown sugar in this. So you're just gonna use it sparingly, especially if you're keto and low carb. Okay, so I'm just sprinkling it on. Again, with my dry hand, leaving it alone. I'm going in with some salt and pepper. I really love the Flavor Gods. I use a lot of their stuff. This happens to be their pink peppercorns and pink Himalayan salt. Okay, going in with some garlic powder. Now this is refreshing to do a video and not have to cut off after 60 seconds. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to them. And then we're gonna do some chili powder. All right. So with your glove hand, we're just gonna pat it. Give it a little pat, 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 pat. Make sure it's stuck. We're gonna flip it over, do the same thing. You can see our fat side, right? Okay, so we're gonna get okay, we're done with the spoon, so it's fine to wipe it on here. Done with the spoon, throwing it in the sink. Okay, yep, some of the spices from the top are there, and that's A-okay. So we're rubbing that all on. Same spices, brown sugar bourbon. Now once you get the spices on, we're gonna cover it with aluminum foil, and at this point, you have 2 options. 1, you can pop it right in the oven, or 2, you can pop it in the fridge and let it kind of sit for an hour or so. It's not necessary. Sometimes it just gives your seasonings a little bit of time to adhere, as opposed to going right in. When the mayonnaise gets cold, it's a little bit thicker. It's warming up as I'm rubbing my hand on it. So that's an option. Okay, pat it down, make sure it won't fall off. All right, I'm gonna take these gloves off and I'm gonna cover it with foil. My bacon pan. All right, let me get the foil. Okay, purpose for the foil is to keep all that meat and juice in. as opposed to letting it evaporate and dry out. So this keeps you juicy. Okay, so we're covering it up. Again, if you have the time, stick it in the fridge, okay, for an hour or so. It just lets your mayonnaise kind of, I don't want to say harden because that sounds gross, but it just lets it kind of not be as warm. It lets it chill up a little bit. Okay, let's put this up. There's dog toys I'm stepping on. Ha! Spices jumping out. It's fine, everything's fine. Okay. Did I put barbecue sauce on it? Mm-mm. But we are. So this is gonna go into my 250-degree oven, and it's gonna cook for 6 hours. I'm not gonna come check it. I'm not going to come poke it. I'm not gonna lift the foil. I'm not gonna touch it. I trust it. It's gonna be fine on its own. Top rack, 250 degrees, 6 hours. I'm putting it in. I'm looking at the time. It's not 250, that's the temperature. So we're at 3:45, 4:45, 5:45, 6. So it'll be done about 10 o'clock, okay? So after the 6 hours, what I will do is take the foil off. What you're gonna see in your pan is lots and lots of liquid. Pour it off, get rid of it. Then you can brush on barbecue sauce if you want to. Brush on barbecue sauce if you want to. My favorite barbecue sauce is made by G. Hughes. I'll grab it and show it to you. I say I will. Here it is. This is G. Hughes. He has a great sugar-free line. This is the sweet and spicy. I love anything sweet and spicy. It's 2 carbs per 2 tablespoons, which is actually a lot of sauce in 2 tablespoons. So very rarely would I have 2 tablespoons in a serving. So you could do this. 1, brush it. You've drained your liquid. You've thrown away the foil. Take your oven and turn it onto broil. While you're waiting for that to heat up, that's when you're draining your liquid, and you're gonna brush your barbecue sauce or pour your barbecue sauce on top of the pork, and you're gonna put it back in under the broiler for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Just watch it. What that does is it gives you that crisp, that bark that you're looking for that you get from a smoker. Or leave it alone, let it cool completely, and shred it up, and then top it with barbecue sauce. And that's typically what we do, because I go for the sugar-free and the kids like the hickory brown sugar regular barbecue sauce. So when mine comes out at 10 tonight, I'm going to pour the liquid off. I'm gonna wrap it back up in foil, and I'm going to let it sit overnight so that in the morning it's 100% cool. All its juices have redistributed, and I'm gonna shred it up because we're going to have a barbecue dinner at my parents' house, and we'll have barbecue sandwiches, and I'm gonna make some coleslaw to go with it. And I'm also gonna make a keto dessert. This came in my last keto crate. It's made by Keto & Company. It's a chocolate cake. So I'm gonna do the cake, and I'm going to whip up a keto cream cheese icing to go on top of this. My parents just bought a new house, so we're just kind of welcome and celebrating that. So thank you for cooking a butt with me. Thank you for being here on my first video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I plan to come back as often as possible and show you some things, and like I said, take more time than 60 seconds that I get on TikTok to give you a little more detail and let you see more, and just let you a little bit behind the curtain, if you will. So if you liked this, let me know. Comment, tell me if you made it, tell me how it turned out, and subscribe to my channel. And remember to always keep it classy.